Would you replace your body, your organs, your skin, your brain, if the promise was that you remain the same? If with a new shell, the ghost remains? Ghost in the Shell uses a lot of themes, but one of the most prevailing narratives that it follows and pushes throughout is that cybernetics eat your soul. Imagine being on the verge of death, your limbs are ripped and torn off, you're dying, blood everywhere, you awake to find something's different. You're in a new shell. Your arms are yours, but they're not yours exactly. They're plastic, metals, and wires. Are you okay? How much of you remains from this traumatic event? Welcome as we learn the secrets behind your favorite characters, genres, and stories. So there's a paradox called Theseus's ship, where Theseus breaks down his ship slowly but surely, replacing and fixing each part. Over a year, the ship has entirely new parts and pieces. The question is it still Theseus' ship? Is it the same ship? Cybernetics Eat Your Soul trope is similar to that, where as you take away part of your human organic parts, how much of you is left? Is your personality changed? Ghost in the Shell focuses on that, where are we still human when we're no longer biologically human? How much of the ghost remains once it has a new cased shell? Now this isn't new. Once cybernetics and once futuristic shows and stories started focusing on that aspect of humans changing, when humans become the sex organs of robots and cybernetics, what becomes of us? What remains of us? And writers use different ways to play on this aspect. The story trope of cybernetics eating your soul is as you get more parts replaced, you become less and less human. Once you've replaced your parts, you have stronger arms, your eyes can see farther, you don't need to sleep as much. How do you empathize with other people when objectively you're better than them? Physically, maybe even mentally, depending on the way the story progresses. There are some stories where the main drive and push of the narrative is how others treat the people who are cybernetically enhanced. How people treat you like a monster or like you're just a better version of themselves ultimately changes how you act towards them. So the main protagonist may be a great person, but people treat them like a monster, a freak. So then they become that. They become the boogeyman that everyone's afraid of. Some writers that focus on the cybernetic eat your soul trope focus on the fact that you can't do it halfway, that the parts just don't mix well, your human and your cyborg parts. So it can actually be that it becomes a drug where yes, your arms are stronger, so why not your legs? You know what, you're very tired, so why not replace your whole organ system so that way you don't have to sleep? It becomes an addiction where you have to chase it. You want to become better, improved version of yourself. Or naturally your body fights off the robotic parts. However ways the story uses cybernetics in general. Sometimes the implants used are hideous, where you literally do look like a monster. Yes, you're better physically overall, you're surviving, you're alive, but what's the cost when you no longer look human? When you distinctly look inhuman? One way I do love the trope of cybernetics and how it turns you into something inhuman is what it means in reality. For instance, if you're fully robotic, except maybe your brain or just your self-consciousness, what happens to emotions and feelings, which we all know that are based on hormones and synapses firing? If you have nothing but cold oil and wires floating through your system, what happens to love, rage, sadness, lust? Is it something that you as yourself force yourself to feel because you think you should feel it? Does a cyborg really get sad? Maybe you realizing that you've lost all the emotions and ability to feel probably would do the trick for you. This trope can also be used as a way of violation. Imagine you go into surgery to get something removed, let's say a kidney removed, and you wake up with a full robotic body. Against your will, your original body was cast apart and now you're in a metal shell. How traumatic must that be? Imagine waking up right now without a leg. Someone surgically removed your legs. How would you feel? How angry and violated would you be? Now imagine the opposite, where yes, you have better parts in a way, but it's not you. Someone took away the closest thing you had, the only thing you had from being to birth, your body. This seems to be the main focus of the new movie, where they're focusing on the Major having her body replaced with new cybernetic parts. She's the best cyborg out there, but it wasn't done with her consent. It may have been to save her, but Who chooses that? So I'm interested to see how they use that and how they play with this trope. Another thing with having cyborg bodies is that sometimes machines aren't as good as the organic stuff, the real stuff. They may be stronger and more durable, but they malfunction too. The same way you might have aches and pains, you might have whirs and wires shorting. And unlike a human body which can heal over time, similarly to your car, things break down. You might need a mechanic to fix it. Good luck finding someone who can replace a robotic arm well. But it's not always bad. Some stories can focus on how having a robotic chip could improve your mental faculties. It could remove mental illness. Having a robotic body means less pain, no cancer if you're fully robot. Yeah, there might be some other issues like rusting, but how much of an improvement would it be to have a better, more streamlined body? Hell, you definitely wouldn't have to work out as much. The hope with this trope is the more inhuman you become physically, your personality, your thoughts, your emotions, your memories, they all remain intact. You still are who you want to be, who you think you are. But the main conflicts with this trope, the one that writers use to create an interesting narrative, is that sometimes people would blame the parts being changed as a reason for their physical and as well mental change. Where if you're no longer physically human, you have no right to being treated as such. Or maybe that the idea that because you have no more limitations, or how far you can jump, how fast you can think, how strong you are, that you have every right to be superior to others around you who don't have those same parts. Hopefully, as more and more of you gets replaced, more and more of you remains the same. That with a new shell, the original ghost remains. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked this video. Also, did you originally watch the original Ghost in the Shell movie, the anime, or the new series that's come up over the years? I'm personally curious to see how well they did with this adaptation. The original has a lot of fans and a lot of people who live by it, so hopefully they could do a good job with this new movie. And let me ask you a question. Would you replace your body for a cybernetic one? Think about it. Would you replace your organs, your limbs, even your brain, if the promise was that you'd still be the same? Comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to learn more about your favorite characters, genres, and stories. See ya.